Step 3. In this step, we'll talk about back of envelope calculations. This is another important step, but you should confirm this from the interviewer whether they want you to do this or not. So some of the interviewers might be only interested in your design. They might not be interested in doing back of envelope calculations at all. So don't waste time in doing this if your interviewer doesn't want you to do it. So what would you do when you have to do back of envelope calculations? One thing that comes into my mind is scalability. So figuring out the scale of the system. And in this case, you need to ask the right set of questions to the interviewer and figure out what is the scale they are thinking in terms of their mind. So you can ask questions like number of total users that are expected in the system, number of total active users per day, number of followers, number of thumbnails in profile. Then you can ask questions about data storage, for example, size of an average image that is being uploaded through a user, or file storage. So if you're doing some other kind of file storage, the size of a file. You can ask questions regarding network bandwidth. Based on the data storage and number of active users and things they are uploading, you can figure out network bandwidth. And this is important in the sense that you'll be able to figure out the load that is being generated on your servers. Finally, you need to ask questions regarding what you are going to store in memory, right? And you need to figure out the size of those objects that you are storing in memory. This way you can think about the cache size that you need to keep in memory. So most of the systems that you build, in order to enhance their performance, you will use some kind of caching strategy, and as such you will use some sort of cache. But cache data is kept in RAM, it is kept in memory. You cannot just dump the entire database in RAM. There is limitations to it. Usually you store that stuff in cache, which is very useful. In this case, back of envelope calculations can help you figure out the amount of data that you need to keep in your cache at real time for its usage. Let's do a sample calculation now. So suppose if you are given a problem like to create a website like YouTube and scale it to a similar set of users. In this case, first ask the right set of questions to the interviewer and see what assumptions he is thinking in his mind that he can lay out in front of you. So for example, total number of users is 1 billion, daily active users is 500 million, average video views per person in a day is 5. These are all assumptions. Number of videos uploaded is 1 by 300 times the number of videos watched. This shows that this is a read heavy system. So writes are much less as compared to reads. Video size on average, again this is an assumption, 100 MB. So 2-minute video size is average equal to 100 MB. So from this you can make your first calculation, each video upload bandwidth. So we said 500 active users, so 500 active users into 5 number of video views. Now let's see the number of videos uploaded, that is 1 by 300 times the number of videos watched. So 1 by 300 multiplied by 1 by 300 into the size of each average video. So it's 100 MB in a day, right? So this is equal to, you can watch this calculation and round it to roughly, it will come to around 0.017 megabytes per second. Now total video views per second. So we said 500 active users per day into 5, since one user is watching 5 average videos. So this is the number of videos watched in a day. Then you can convert it to seconds by dividing it by number of hours and seconds, and roughly it comes to around 29,000 video views per second. So total videos uploaded per second will be then 1 by 300 of that, and this is around 97 videos per second. Now this can give you an idea about what is the total size of data that you are storing in your system. So storage size for videos, we said 100 MB is the average size of one video. If 97 videos are uploaded per second, so 97 into 100 is 9700 MB per second, or around 10 GB per second. You can add buffer to this if needed, and you can say these values to the interviewer. Now here I've also converted this second value to per year. So you can see the calculation over here. So this roughly comes to around 315 petabytes per year. Similarly, you can convert it to 5 year and figure out like how much of storage you will need. So you can multiply it by 5. In the next slide, we'll talk about API design, which is another important topic. And in most of the system design interviews, you might be doing API design using the technology you are comfortable in using.